Hello, party people, and welcome to the Secrets of a Witch podcast with me, Sabrina Scott, where I talk all about life, love, healing, magic, witchcraft, tarot, and everything in between. And I've got my co-host Awaz with me here. Awaz the cat. She is my oldest creature, and she is purring up a storm right next to my phone as I am recording. So if she purrs really loud or says hello, you guys will know that that's what's going on. She's just co-hosting today. So anyway, moving on. So we did it, you guys. We survived the Scorpio full moon eclipse from hell. And maybe it wasn't from hell for you, and it wasn't necessarily for me either, but it was definitely an intense vibe, right? An intense energy. So if you guys are feeling a bit whack over the next few days, don't sweat it too much. It probably is just the residue of that big astrological event that we are still kind of feeling our way through. So today's topic is about how sometimes when we are spiritual, we are easy to take advantage of, and we throw our brains out the window. So this episode is inspired by a recent experience I had, and excuse my sniffle, it's like allergy season for me here, so I apologize, but I had an interesting experience which kind of made me sad at my local grocery store. So I'm chatty with everyone and blah, 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 and I happen to be wearing a hoodie with my not my witch body cover, oh my god. With what? With the cover of my second book, Curse and Cure. So I've got a whole bunch of hoodies and sweaters with that illustration on it. You guys can check that out at shopsabrinamscott.com if you're curious. And the lady at the checkout was like, "Oh my god, I love your sweater." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank you. It's actually the cover of my second book." And she was like, "Oh my god, I want to write a book too. And I have written a few and blah, 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 blah." And so we just got like chit-chatting about books, and I told her my whole story about like self-publishing and how my second book was under contract with a big publisher. If you know, you know. And I decided to buy back my rights last summer and just self-pub on Amazon, as you guys know. And she was like, "Oh my god, thank you, universe. I was looking for a sign, and like, you're clearly that sign," and blah, 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 blah. And it was a very cute moment. And anyway, so I decided to give her my contact info, being like, "You know what, if you got any questions about self-publishing, feel free to reach out. Here's my email." I'm like, "Yeah, feel free to say hi." So anyway, I was like, "Okay, whatever. That was nice and cute. Like, go along with my day." So I get an email from her, and she's like, "Oh, we were chatting so much that you forgot to pay." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm busy the next few days. Like, I will come in and pay like sometime later this week whenever I've got a moment, because right now it's hectic." And anyway, like a few hours pass and I get like a barrage of emails from this lady. And one of them is like, "Oh, don't worry, I paid for it just like you told me to." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I didn't tell you to do that. Like, what are you talking about?" And so she sends me a screen cap. Clearly she's talking with someone on Instagram that is one of the people impersonating me, like a scammer, which I've been dealing with for like 3 years. If you guys know, you know. If you're on Instagram, you know that like pretty much every tarot reader, every spiritual person on Instagram has got like dozens of impersonators who will slide into your DMs and like offer shit. And like most people don't fall for this because I think most people are not fucking stupid, no offense, but like, to me, it's just so obviously a scam. Like, it's clearly just, like, random Nigerian scammers, like, with, like, broken grammar, like, speaking in ways that don't make sense. And anyway, it is fucking stupid. I'm not going to go on a rant about the scammers. I've already talked so much about that. But anyway, she sends me some screen caps where she basically is asking this scammer, and, like, my username is not even spelled properly. She's asking the scammer, like, "Oh, here's the receipt. Should I pay for it?" And the scammer says yes. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is so annoying. So I email her back, and I'm like, "Look, that's not me. I asked you to communicate with me on email for this exact reason. My Instagram username is, like, Sabrina M. Scott. That's it. feel free to let me know what your Instagram is, and I will message you from my real account. And she was like, oh, I deleted Instagram. And that was it. I didn't reply. She didn't reply. That was it. And so, like, I'm just over here, like, God damn it, like, annoyed by the whole situation. And so the reason I'm telling you guys this story is, like, not to shame this woman. Like, you know, like, that's not the point, even though I'm like, girl, what the fuck? But it's because I've seen this happen so many times where people, and I wrote a whole blog about this, like, more than a year ago. It's on my blog, on my website. If you want to read the whole rant about it, it's probably a few pages back. If you go to sabrinamscott.com, click blog, just scroll through till you see it. And like in the post and right now, what I'm going to talk about is how some people are so desperate for a sign, a spiritual sign, that they throw their brain out the window. And so it's like, okay, yes, maybe me meeting this woman was a sign that she should self-publish, sure. But it's like she was so excited about that, she forgot that I gave her one specific communication method, which was email. And she, like, just got hoodwinked by whoever the scammer was. And so, anyway, like, she said she refunded it. I went in the other day and I paid for it my own self, like, you know, of course. But, like, did the scammer also scam her out of money for one of these, like, fake readings that never ends up happening? Because I've gotten some angry-ass people emailing me who don't read my fucking website, where I warn people about scammers and say this is the only one way to book a reading with me, by paying for it through the links that are on my website. But sometimes people feel so desperate, they're spiritually minded, right? Maybe they're going through a rough time. Maybe they don't trust themselves in their own judgment, that they're looking for this external, like, voice from God, or, like, you know, a chance meeting or whatever the fuck. And they're going to throw their brain out the window. And I think this is why the scammers are so successful. That when people get a random DM being like, Grand Rising, would you like a reading? Here are the options. For $35, send Bob Rodriguez 87 at hotmail.com money, and then you will get a reading from Sabrina. It's like, people, it's fucking so obviously insane, makes no sense at all. If you actually stop for 2 seconds and just think, like, okay, why would a professional business person named Sabrina be asking for money via, like, Bob Rodriguez 87 or whatever? It makes no sense. But people are so desperate for a spiritual sign, to feel chosen. Oh my God, this, like, tarot reader on Instagram DM'd me and offered me a reading because I'm special. And it's like, yes, you are special, but also no, you are not special. We are all special. And we are all not special. Like, we're all just humans. And so what I've seen is, like, people are so desperate to feel chosen. They're so desperate to feel, oh my God, this is an external validation, this is an external sign, that they make dumbass decisions and don't use their brain. And it breaks my heart. And there's nothing else I can do about it. I've been warning people for 3 years. At this point, I've just given up. But a scammer actually worked on someone I've met in person. Like, I used to be a promotional model for an alcohol company. And I've known this girl in person. Like, we haven't seen each other since we worked for the company together, like, back ages ago. But that girl that I fucking know in person got scammed. And it's like, what the hell? And it was just fucking insane. And it's like, how could you not know that I don't talk like that if we literally know each other and you've been following my work forever, like, and we know each other in person? Like, it makes no sense. But it happens, I think, because people are so desperate. And I think spiritual people, unfortunately, are really easy to take advantage of because they see so many different things as a sign, right? And I talked about this a little bit in a past episode that I did in this podcast about, like, signs of manipulators to be on the lookout for. And also I did an episode about twin flame soulmate stuff. And so go listen to those two if you haven't yet. But I think this is, like, a similar thing, right? Like, abusers, scammers, like, weirdos, they don't really have to say anything to gain the trust of a spiritual person. And I think that's really unfortunate. You know, like, as spiritual people, a lot of us have become fucking stupid in our eagerness to believe, and our eagerness to see a sign, and our eagerness for that spiritual connection. That, if some like abusive, manipulative asshole just has to say, oh, we knew each other in a past life, oh, we're twin flames, like, oh, we're soulmates, whatever, that we're just like, oh yeah, sounds great, even though we have known this person for like an hour. And like, don't get me wrong, like, I've been tempted by that before too, but we have to slow down and be like, okay, hold on, let's take a step back, let's touch in with our intuition, let's do a tarot reading, let's give it a moment and actually check in with ourselves and be like, okay, am I falling for this scammer, abuser, etc., 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 because I'm so desperate for spiritual connection, because I'm so desperate for a sign? Yes, it was. And it really breaks my heart, because I believe in spirituality, I believe in omens, I believe in signs, I believe in all that stuff. But as spiritual people, we have to be even more on the lookout for scammers that are going to take advantage of us, for abusers, for manipulators, for all of that stuff. And it doesn't mean we have to live life in a closed-hearted way. I think it just means we have to be emotionally sober. We have to, stop, look, and listen. We have to not allow ourselves just to get swept up in the fantasy and the illusion of something like this, right? Scammers or whatever, love bombers, whatever you want to call it, like all of that stuff. We got to keep our brains functioning. Being spiritual is no excuse to be a dumbass. Apologies, but I need to speak on this. And it breaks my heart, because it's like this chick was like so excited to connect with me, and like, that's awesome. Clearly she probably was going through something if she was taken advantage of so easily by this random scammer. I'm mad because it's like, bitch, I gave you my email. What the fuck else do you want me to be doing? So I don't take any responsibility for this. I don't think it's really my fault or my problem. That being said, it breaks my heart that people really are so eager to believe people's internet literacy is low. People's media literacy is low. Like, she didn't email me to be like, hey, is this you? And it's like, oh my God. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And so, again, I'm not saying this to put this woman on blast, because I've seen this happen to so many people. But the lesson here is, like, stop, look, and listen. Don't be an idiot. Don't be so eager to see a sign, an omen, a whatever, that you throw your brain out the window. Just take a moment. Take a moment. Breathe. Connect with yourself. Connect with your intuition. Really see, who is this person? It's important. Don't be scammed. Don't get hoodwinked. Don't get manipulated. We can be spiritual and also logical. We can be spiritual. We can look for omens. We can look for signs. We can notice them. We can take them on. And we can also use our brains and be critical, be logical, be calculated, smooth. We can assess the situation. It doesn't mean that we're not spiritual if we're taking a moment just to be like, okay, 1 second. Let's observe this. Let's logicify this. Let's look a little deeper. And so what's unfortunate about this situation that I'm talking about is this woman probably now is going to feel all weird about her book stuff and feel discouraged. Oh no, the universe is the demons or whatever. I met this woman and I was so excited, and then I got scammed and blah, blah, blah. And it's just it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And I think, the universe probably did give her a sign in meeting me. And, that validation of you should self-publish. But then it's her own excitement about that led her brain to go offline. And that's upsetting. And so please keep your brain online. Keep your brain online, my friends. It's important. It's important. So don't get scammed. Keep your brain in your head. Being spiritual means we can still be logical. We can still be smart. We can still be intuitive while also being logical, right? So that's the episode for today, my friends. Do not let that happen to you. Use your brain. Okay, much love. Happy weekend. Happy full moon. Happy eclipse. Happy Mercury retrograde. Lots going on right now. Too much going on right now, we might say. But if you do feel called, there's my allergies again. But if you do feel called, please join us in Magic May, which is for realsies a thing. There is 38 or 39 people in there right now. It is fucking awesome. The chat is popping off. We're only on day 6. So you'll be able to scroll back and see all of the prompts every single day. Come in, join us, catch up. You can do so at sabrinamscott.com/magicmay. You are more than welcome. Honestly, it is like the coolest bunch of people I've ever encountered. Everyone is fucking awesome. Like, for realsies. Like, the connections that are being made, the conversations that are happening are just such a blessing. It is not a scam. I swear on my life, it is not a scam. So please join us for Magic May. It is honestly the most fun part of my day. So join us for some spiritual community group experience, the best group chat you've ever encountered. Honestly, it's so fun. So come and join us, join the fun, Magic May. Any questions about that, email me, ceo@sabrinamscott.com, or on Instagram, Sabrina M. Scott. Ignore the scammers, just block them, honestly, like, please, just ignore them. Okay, friends, I hope to see you in Magic May. If you missed my Recession Era Witchcraft Masterclass, you can creep that at sabrinamscott.com/recession. If you want to creep some cool sweaters for the summer, shop sabrinamscott.com. Go check it out. All right, friends, till next time, much love. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Bye.